Bom dia, day 4 in Rio at the engine now, the Olympic Stadium. It's the evening session, and again we've a fabulous crowd in, as has been the case across all the venues here for the Paralympic Games. It's already the second most attended Paralympics in history. And look at that, it's blue skies. We're heading towards winter here. Actually, we're heading out of winter. It's been a very, very pleasant day. Great sunshine throughout so far in Rio. 10 finals in the morning session and another 9 today. 6 in the track and 3 in the fields. And the high-octane excitement will continue.
Field events, looking forward to the women's club throw featuring the world record holder Joanna Butterfield. We've got finals on the track. Let's go through these 3 field finals for you. The women's shot put F40. Larita Onye of Nigeria is the world champion. And the women's long jump T38, a wide open field of 13. Brazil well represented, but with Ukraine's Ina Sterzak the possible favourite in that one. But we're going to get some action underway on the track, and this should be a beauty.
Absolutely, we've got the women's 400 T53. It features the world champion Angie Bala, the European champion Hamidi Kurt. Then the T54 final, the fastest, strongest races. That means Tatjana McFadden, Lu Wenjun, Sherry Madsen, Manuela Scher. Final action also in the men's 1500 metres T13, that's least visual impairment. Likes of Henry Kerway of Kenya and Yeltsin Jacques of Brazil. Women's 100 T47 final also. So the first final on the track, the women's 400 metres T53, the second fastest wheelchair racing category. The world record holder goes in this, having set the mark in Indianapolis in June.
Surprisingly, still without a Paralympic gold medal, Angie Ballard.
She has the chance to change that here finally, but what a field. Pan Am champion Chelsea McClamott, European champion Hamidi Kurt, the 13 times global champion Huang Li Sha. Zhao Hongxuan is the reigning Paralympic Games champion in this, and she's in lane 3. Just about everybody in this has won a major title at one stage or another in their career. Here's the 100 metres champion from Rio, Huang Li Sha. 6 times Paralympic champion, 7 times world champion, and she's the reigning Asian Games champion over 1 and 2, and the 100 metres world champion as well, and the Paralympic champion over 1 and 2. This is Hamidi Kurt of Turkey, 4th in the 100 metres here, reigning European champion over the 1 and the 4 from Grosseto in June. Out of Benton City, Washington, races at University of Illinois. The Pan Am champion over the 4 and the 8, Chelsea McClamott of the United States. Bronze medalist in the 100 here, but the reigning world champion over 2 and 4. It is the great Angie Ballard for Australia. Born in Anchorage in Alaska, the reigning marathon Paralympic champion. Silvers in the 4 and the 8 of the Pan Ams in Toronto, Shirley Riley, USA. The defending champion over 400 and 800 meters, reigning Asian Games champion and former world champion too. Silver in the 100 here in Rio. That's Zhu Hongxuan of China. The triple European champion from Swansea 2014 over the 1, the 4 and the 8, based out of the Red Star Club in Glasgow. For Great Britain, Samantha Kinghorn. And for Switzerland, silver in the 200 of the World Championships in Doha last October. Only major championship medal. Looking to change that. For Switzerland, Catherine de Bruyne. It's a brilliant field. It's a fast field. That world record for Angie Ballard's coming in June. So they're away, De Bruyne, Kinghorn, Zhu, Riley, Ballard, McClamott, Kurt and Huang. And it's Huang brilliantly away from the gun in lane 8, who won the 100 metres. Looking for a big double here. Kurt, European champion, doing her best to keep up, and here comes Angie Ballard on the far straight for Australia. Going great guns at the moment. Riley not doing too badly either. Zhu, even better for China. Two Chinese, Zhu, Huang, and Ballard of Australia, have done the best in the first 200. Big turn heading into the final straight. Angie Ballard accelerating now. Huang on the outside in lane 8. Zhu is coming in the inside in lane 3. Zhu, who won the silver in the 100 metres. She's on the inside, Huang on the outside, Ballard in the middle. Here comes Chelsea McClummer as well. But it's Zhu who's going to defend a Paralympic title. McClummer second, Ballard third, Huang 4. 54-44 is a new world record. Zhu Hongxuan's taken it. She's denied Angie Ballard the gold that she so desired, and she's whipped away her world record as well. Zhu Hongxuan successfully defends her Paralympic 400 title.
She was beautifully drawn in lane 3, was Zhu Hongxuan. Pushed away quickly. Ballard made good early progress, was up on McClummer quite quickly. But as they came into the home straight, the stagger revealed that Zhu had surged to the front. Ballard really needs a Paralympic distance of about 300. I think that would be perfect for her. She just got run down in the straight, with McClummer claiming the silver, Ballard the bronze, and Zhu with a world record. Brilliant push from her.
Yeah,
silver in the 100 and now gold in the 4.
Absolutely exceptional. That is the right distance for Zhu, there's no doubt about that. She's the reigning Asian Games champion over 4, 8 and 15. And she won in London over the 4 and the 8. And she won the 8 in Beijing in her home games. 54-43 is exceptional. Great wheeling by Zhu Hongxuan to go with the 100 silver. And Angie Ballard, who'd won the bronze in that, wins the bronze in this. Her 5th. Mark that, 6th Paralympic Games medal. And Chelsea McClummer, what a finish by her. There's Shirley Riley, who finished in 5th place. We'll focus here on Zhu. Great wheeling. Ballard had been up with her for a lot, but then she accelerated, head away for home. And she knew, head down, that she was in for a fast time. Looking up once or twice, kept going, didn't pull back. Wheeled all the way through the line. For that 54-43 it's been rounded down to. And then McClummer with a brilliant fight back for the United States, the Pan Am 4 and 8 champion, her first Paralympic Games, her first Paralympic medal. That's a silver that she knocked Ballard down into 3rd place for. But Zhu Hongxuan, an exquisite champion, and the gold and the glory and the world record is hers. Zhu Hongxuan, 54-43. McClummer the silver for the United States, and Angie Ballard the bronze for Australia. Huang in 4, Riley 5.
First up, the crowd treated to a cracking 400 with a world record. Chinese wheelchair athletes having great results at the engine now. As ever, plenty of football shirts, plenty of green and yellow shirts, plenty of families here on a gorgeous Sunday evening. It's about 23, 24 degrees. Lots of entertainment coming their way.
The women's 400 metres T54, the strongest, fastest, least impaired wheelchair racing category. And that means Tatiana McFadden in her race for 7 Paralympic medals. Silver in the 100. The gold medalist in that goes in this, and she is the reigning Asian and world champion Lu Wenjun. Tatiana McFadden is the Paralympic champion. Sherry Madsen, a predecessor of hers, goes in this too. Here's Ma Jing, her first major championship, and brilliant for her at the age of 28. Well, she's a good prospect here on the outside. And she's going to get a lot of the crowd on her side too. And what a shower of Switzerland, the former European champion, silver in the marathon in the Worlds, London last year, gold in the 4 and the 8, 15 and the 5 in the Europeans in Swansea in 2014. Here's Tatjana McFadden. 10 Paralympic medals now, 3 of them gold from London 2012. For the 8 and the 15. Reigning Paralympic Games champion. Liu Wenjun, the reigning world champion, in the absence of McFadden in Doha. Won the 1, the 4 and the 4x4 there, and in the Asian Games, the 1, the 4 and the 8. And she's won back-to-back Paralympic Games 100 meters titles now. The former Paralympic Games champion over 400 from Sydney 2000. She won the 100 as well, took a 12-year break, been back hoovering up medals since then. Sherry Madsen for the United States. Lane 3, world champion over 800, 5,000, and in the 4x4 from China, from Shanghai, it's Zhu Lihong. Fourth in the 100 meters here in Rio, bronze in the 1 and the 2 in Doha in the World Championships. And one of those behind the Fill the Seats campaign for here. She's filled lots of seats. For the United States, Hannah McFadden, and for the Netherlands, silver in the 100 meters in the Europeans in Swansea in 2014, and bronze in the 4 and the 8 in Doha in the Worlds last year. She was 8th in the 100 meters final here, Margaret van den Broek of the Netherlands. So again, a brilliant field, again expected to be fast. McFadden, the defending champion, Liu, the 100 champion. And lots more besides. Van den Broek, Hannah McFadden, Zhu, Madsen, Liu, Tatjana McFadden, Cher Ma. Away we go. The final of the women's 400 meters. T54. Tatjana McFadden away well. I think Liu Wenjun off that little bit faster alongside her. That was certainly the case in the 100 meters final when Liu got off faster than Tatjana McFadden, but now with the longer distance, she's really well in her stride. It's Tatjana McFadden in 6. It's Liu Wenjun in 5. Ma Jing's going quite well in 8. But it's McFadden and Liu who perform the best, and now McFadden pushes away. It's a good, clear daylight between her and the rest as she turns for home. Tatjana McFadden, who won this in 2012 in London. Here she goes again, going for the double in Rio. It's Tatjana McFadden who's going to win this. Sherry Madsen in 2nd place, Liu in 3rd, and Tatjana McFadden gets her first gold in Rio, 53.30. And Sherry Madsen gets the silver, her first Paralympic medal since 2000. But Tatjana McFadden, well, she's on the hunt for 6 golds now, and that's the first of them.
A great push from Tatjana McFadden. Doesn't quite have the speed off the line of some of the others, but she's got serious endurance. She can just keep pumping those wheels. Along the back straight, she did some furious work.
I certainly think Liu is a better starter generally than McFadden from the 2 finals that we've witnessed in which they've been back-to-back. But, I mean, McFadden in that 2nd section, will say between 100 to 300. It's pretty much where she won it, Steve. She just wheeled away.
Yeah, and won it by 3-4 lengths. Wasn't going to let this one slip. Needed that first gold, gets it. And it's a USA 1-2, China 3rd. And, you know, the McFadden story, very moving. You know, from an orphanage in St. Petersburg, Russia, to representing the USA, and so decorated now. And Tatjana McFadden, all smiles once the hard work had been done. She really wanted this one. Couldn't go under 52 seconds to get near her own world record. That doesn't matter. 53.30 is fine because it means gold. And Sherry Madsen of the United States 2nd in 54.50, and Zhu Lihong a personal best of 54.70 in picking up the bronze medal.
Yeah, it's a terrific story. Also for Sherry Madsen, by the way, she left the sport for 12 years. She had been the first Native American to win a wheelchair medal. It was Zhao in third, Liu in fourth, by the way. And there's Hannah McFadden, whose background is similar to her sisters. Tatiana with the gold. Tatiana McFadden, 53.30. Sherry Madsen the silver, 54.50. Zhao in third, Liu in fourth, and Shah in fifth place. Tatiana McFadden, her adoptive mother was working for the US Department of Health. Adopted her from that orphanage in St. Petersburg. Hannah, adopted from Albania. Pretty sure Tatiana actually kept her birth name as well. Hannah perhaps likewise. But great athletes. Grew up in the United States. All American heroes. Just to tell you, Samantha Kinghorn, who finished sixth in that previous T53 final, has been disqualified.
So there will be some field events underway during the evening, and that'll give another fantastic crowd here at the Engine Now. Lots to watch and enjoy. And try to keep on top of. We've got some great big screens here that allow them to do that. And a big thank you and a big tick to the population of Rio for supporting these games so grandly. They're flooding into the Olympic Park and to stadiums like this one to take in the action.
The opening round of the men's 100 metres T34. This is the strongest and fastest of the cerebral palsy wheelchair categories. Wadik Tila been the main name in this for the past 4 years or so. Features the former world champion Sébastien Mobre of France, Bojan Mitic of Switzerland. He's been a bronze medalist in the world championships over 100 metres. The native of Lucerne, who's right in the middle of those five. Reid McCracken of Australia, who was he caught the eye of a TV programme in Australia, and they asked him if he wanted to race against Kurt Fearnley, who was his hero. Don't think they'd met at the time. And it turned out McCracken was quite handy. And here he is at the Paralympic Games, and it's his second Paralympics. Silver in the one, bronze in the two in London. Bojan Mitic won 3 medals at the Europeans in Swansea, 2 silver, 1 bronze. Austin Pruitt, who is now based with a very strong para program in Chula Vista in California, right by San Diego, tucked just above the border with Mexico. And Austin Smink, who's from Ontario, Oakville, he didn't start. He qualified for London 2012. He was 15. But he didn't compete. He agreed with his family. He was probably too young. He's here now, 19. Sébastien Mobre poised as well. A real buzz around the stadium. There's a nice little walk-in restaurant. What I mean by that, there's no front wall. You just walk in, round the corner from here. And they've had the powerlifting on the whole time after the morning sessions here. Finally managed to get a table there. But the powerlifting was crammed today. Swimming's been sold out all the way through. And again, I'm pretty sure for the 5th session in a row, we've a crowd of over 30,000 here at the Engine Now.
They have these kilo restaurants where you just walk in, pick up as much food as you like, get it weighed, and then pay for it.
Smink of Canada, McCracken of Australia, Mitic of Switzerland, Pruitt of the United States. There's McCracken, silver in the 1 and bronze in the 2 at London 2012. And in the World Championships in Lyon the following year, silvers in the 1, the 2 and the 4, and bronze in the 800. From Bundaberg in Queensland. Bojan Mitic of Switzerland, born in Lucerne. Silver in the 1 and the 4, and bronze in the 200. In the European Championships in Swansea in 2014. Bronze in the 1 then at the World Championships in Doha at the end of last year. Austin Pruitt of the United States. Sébastien Mobre of France. the former 100 metres world champion, and silver in the 2 and the 4 from Christchurch, the World Championships in 2011. Real buzz around the stadium. Smink in 3, McCracken 4, Mitic 5, Pruitt 6, Mowbray 7. The first 3 to go through, plus the next 2 fastest across the 2 semi-final heats. And they're away at the first time of asking, and Mowbray got away excellently. Here goes Reid McCracken now out of lane 4 for Australia. McCracken well in his stride straight away. Mitic just behind, and Smink as well. It'll be McCracken leading them home. Smink and Mitic, the 1, 2, 3. 15:51 is the Paralympic record. It's broken the mark that Wally Katila won in London 2012. 15.50 for Reid McCracken, who set his lifetime best this year of 15:38. Smink in second place and Mitic third, and they'll go through.
Well, the boy from Bundaberg got cracking early. Reid McCracken, that front wheel lifting off for the first dozen pushes, and he settled into a good speed and made this heat his own. And a wonderful time for McCracken. Paralympic record, 15.5. He was just a lad, really, 4 years ago as 15-year-old in London, where he picked up silver and bronze medals. Not sure if he can go for gold here, but on the evidence of that heat, certainly in good form, shredding a Paralympic record owned by Katila of Tunisia, with Smink of Canada second, Mitic, Switzerland third.
And just look at the way he came out of the blocks here. Good speed straight away, just what was required. And Mitic and Smink left in his way, and just accelerating from there. You can see the little hops of the front wheel. Huge amount of effort being put into this. Didn't really ease up.
It's like a drag race, isn't it? They have trouble keeping the front wheel on the track. And good, powerful push from Reid McCracken.
Well, maybe the day's going to come when someone's going to go too fast, and it will flip up, and they'll have to redesign everything. But for now, Reid McCracken with the Paralympic record, 15.50. Smink through 16.03. Mitic also 16.10.
It's poking the tongue out for the selfie. I think that means she doesn't like it having taken.
Yeah, you can wave now.
Yeah. I meant the 3 in the front row there.
It's a TV debut that they'll enjoy. Lots of those Flamengo shirts again. One of the clubs, along with Fluminense, that share the Maracanã where they play their football. Well, we had that excellent opening ceremony the other night.
I haven't seen selfie sticks in the stadium. Are
Good.
Are they banned here? In some countries they are, and some they're not. You obviously feel they should be. You're not a fan, Will, of the selfie stick. I'm not either. I think they get in the way a bit. They're a bit dangerous.
Absolutely. You can have your eye out with them. There's a Fluminense shirt, by the way, the stripes. And there's Vinicius, our Olympic mascot.
The mascots have been a success here. They aren't always.
Mascots have been excellent here. You need a good mascot, I think.
Yeah. Tom for the Paralympics, Vinicius for the Olympics, and both have been well received.
Second heat of the men's 100 metres, T34, and it features the great Wally Katila of Tunisia, the reigning Paralympic champion. And gold in the 1 and the 2 in London 2012, and the 4-time champion from each of the last 2 World Championships in Lyon and Doha. By far the man they have to beat. World record sets at the Grand Prix in Arbonne in Switzerland last year. These Grand Prix, very, very intensive events because they've got a huge amount of disciplines involved, various categories. Great Britain, Bren Rowlings, who won 3 bronze medals at the Europeans this year in Grosseto, north of Rome. The 1, the 4 and the 8. He's from Newport in Wales. He's a former swimmer, but then he found after a while he was allergic to chlorine. Safer here. Mohammed Al-Kabasi of Qatar, bronze in the Asian Games 2014 in Incheon. Mohammed Al-Hamadi, the reigning Asian Games champion for the United Arab Emirates. Former world champion over the 2 and the 4, and he won 4 medals in the World Championships in Doha. 3 of them silver and 1 bronze. And in the last Paralympic Games, silver in the 2 and bronze in the 100 metres. Ben Rowlings of Great Britain, the bronzes in the 1, the 4 and the 8 in the Europeans. Wally Katila, gold in the 1 and the 2 in London, gold in the 1, the 2, the 4, the 8 in Lyon, and again in Doha. Everyone knows he's the man to beat. Mohammed Rashid Al-Kabasi of Qatar, bronze in those Asian Games. And Henry Mani, the triple European champion from this year in Grosseto, having done a 4-timer in the previous Europeans in Swansea. So these guys are good. Al-Hamadi in 3, Rowlings 4, Katila 5, Al-Kabasi 6, and Henry Mani is in lane 7. The first 3 to automatically qualify for the final. Katila getting away, good start by Henry Mani, the best European around, but Katila's the best around, full stop. Away he goes, Al-Mohammadi's in 2nd place, Henry Mani's in 3rd, Katila's going to take this, it'll be fast, 15:45, breaks the Paralympic record set by Reid McCracken, and Katila shows what he's made of. 15:44 it's been rounded down to, and he's got another record on the board.
Well, McCracken might have thrown down the gauntlet in the first heat, but Katila has promptly answered with a quicker time again by 0.06. Different style of starting with the head bobbing up, and then he settles down and pushes hard. He did have a good challenge from Mohammed Al-Hamadi of the UAE across to his left. And on his outside, Henry Mann of Finland. Too quick though. Khaled Katila, 8 World Championship wins, 2 Paralympic gold medals, and we can see why.
Really a class act in the 34s. Great cerebral palsy wheelchair racer. And that Paralympic record of 15:44. He's the main man in his class. And the man they all know that they have to beat. Well, in the equivalent women's category, it's Hannah Cockcroft who's been doing all the achievements. Her direct male equivalent, Wally Katila. And the cerebral palsy means they're just a little bit slower out of the blocks than the fastest equivalent in the 50 wheelchair section. But, I mean, once he gets going, absolutely flying well clear of the rest.
It's interesting to watch his different style, though, isn't it, Will? The head pushes up as the hands push down, particularly for the first 3 or 4 pushes.
It works for him. Wally Katila with the victory. And the new Paralympic record of 15:44. Henry Mani actually got that in the end in 2nd place. 15:78. Al-Hamadi in 3rd. And Mohammed Rashid Al-Kabasi also through. So here's our finalists. Sebastien Mowbray making it to the final as well. But Wally Katila really the man they all have to beat. How close can McCracken get? Can he win it? Or Henry Mani?
So we have a victory ceremony about to happen right in front of our broadcasting position, and we couldn't ask for a better one. We're right on the finish line for the 100 and enjoying the view, the atmosphere. And the men's javelin F41 Ed Warner, OBE from the IPC. This event held a little earlier. Presentation party here. Shun Tongchang, 25-year-old from Henin. Had been the world record holder, 43.67. Had a best throw of 41.81 in this final. The interesting thing about this final was that we had 3 throwers from Iraq, and 2 of them are on the podium. Wildan Nukhalawi with a best of 42.08. That was a season's best. The top 4 all had a season's best or a personal best. First medals for Iraq at these games. Kavan Abdul Rahim, the first Kurdish athlete to represent Iraq. That was 4 years ago in London, where he finished 4th. Has been a world champion, 2011 in Christchurch, and now he is a Paralympic champion. A winning throw of 42.85. Gets the golden-haired Tom Mascot. So gold to Abdul Rahim of Iraq, Nukhalawi, his countryman, the silver, and bronze to Sun Piangshang of China. I don't know that gold has a taste, but I think it still tastes pretty good when you win one.
As you can see, the bottom tier just about full again, as will be the podium in the next few moments.
Men's shot put F34, another event conducted a little earlier. And a field of 9 began this one. Representatives from Iran, China, Qatar, Colombia, the Arab Emirates, Kyrgyzstan, Morocco. And it was the man from Morocco, Azzedine Nouiri, who took it out from Abdulrahman of Qatar and Colombia's Mauricio Valencia. The top 3 were the only ones to throw over 11 meters. Mauricio Valencia, 28 years of age, from Cali, through 11 meters 10. He's pretty pleased with that. Abdulrahman, he was 4th at the World Championships when they were held in his home city last year. He was flag bearer for Qatar in London 2012. He won the Asian Games in Incheon 2 years ago, and a silver medalist in Rio. Azzedine Nouiri. It wasn't until round 5 that he threw his winning attempt of 11 meters 28. He's 30 years of age, from Safi in Morocco. He won in London, so it's a defense of his title. He threw 13 meters 10 then, not out to this distance. That distance this time, but a gold medal winning throw nonetheless. Azzedine Nouiri of Morocco. It was a real financial struggle for him to get to Rio. In fact, he featured in a documentary called Weight Throwers. It was about how difficult it was for Paralympic athletes sometimes to realise their dreams. Well, his has come true. Silver to Abdulrahman of Qatar. Bronze to Valencia of Colombia. So a pause in those ceremonies, and we'll see what action I'm going to bring you in a moment. The fans are waiting. We do have a couple of field events. Just pause while those presentations are on.
It's another packed house in terms of the lower tier of this Encinao Stadium.
3 women's field events on the program tonight: the club throw, shot put, and a women's long jump T38.
And there's a certain soft drink who have changed their colours to gold for the duration of the Olympics and the Paralympics here in Rio.
Can't say enough about how generous and supportive the fans have been for all nations here. Of course, it brings an extra level to the volume when there's a Brazilian athlete involved. We've had Brazilian gold medals here. Most of Brazil's gold at these games have come at the track and field.
Yeah, Brazil have won 5 gold medals in the athletics so far.
Out of 6 in total, 9 silver and 6 bronze to this point, and many more coming their way for sure. Top 5 on the medal table.
A successful host nation always helps. The enthusiasm and just the feel-good factor, and getting reported in the TV stations, on the newspapers. As we say, 167,000 people were in the Olympic Park yesterday for day 3 of the Paralympic Games, and that beats any single day of the Olympic Games here.
Well, that says something about the wonderful hearts of the Brazilian people, and how successful the Paralympic message is getting out there. It is true that a lot of the average Brazilian people didn't have the resources or cash to maybe get along to some of the Olympic events. And they're taking the opportunity to support these Paralympic Games in fantastic numbers. Think how far the Paralympic movement has travelled in the last 20 years in terms of exposure and acceptance. And it means a lot more than that too, as the world understands what Paralympic athletes are able to do.
The men's 400 metres, T54. Again, these the fastest of the wheelchair racers. Zhang Lixin still has those marks against his name from his home Paralympics in Beijing in 2008. Everybody will be present and correct at the moment. They're still doing their warm-up laps. 3 heats in this. It'll be the first 2 to go through to the final, and then the next 2. Alex Adelaide of France. On your right, Kenny Van Weigel, the former Paralympic and world champion. And for China, Liu Yang.
I'd like to see Curtis Tom get a medal of Canada, just so that he can.
Tom.
He gets the Tom, the mascot.
The starting lineup: Saishon Kongzhen, who's won in his career 18 global medals, but never a gold. He's won 5 silver and 3 gold at the Paralympic Games. Reigning world champion in this also, Liu Yang. Interesting story about Curtis, Tom. He is a wheelchair racer, obviously T54, but he's only just come back into the sport this year. He was out for just about 2 years. He lost vision. There was a build-up of fluid pressure on the brain, and for 21 months he was out of the sport. But now with vision fully restored, he's back in the T54 game. Here's Saishon Kongjian. Silver in the 200 and the 4x4, and bronze in the 15 in Doha. And he's the reigning Asian Games champion over 100 and 800. Liu Yang, who went out in the semi-finals of the 5,000 meters. There's a couple of 5,000 athletes who are competing in this. Kenny Van Weigel, gold in the 200. At the last 2 World Championships, he's won 4 World Crowns, and the Paralympic champion in the 400 from 2004. And even going further back in time, he's another world title there from 2002. He's won 4 in total. All his world titles coming in the 200, and his only Paralympic title coming in this. Alex Adelaide, a bronze in the 4x4 at the World Championships in Doha. His only major championship medal. He finished 5th in the 1 and the 2 in the Europeans in Grosseto. Lovely town, about 150 kilometers up the coast, due north from Rome. Really strong flooding, bad weather there unusually when we were there for the Europeans a few months ago, in the height of the Italian summer. Saishon Kongjian has done very well out of the recent Asian Championships. Kenny Van Weigel, 5 global medals in his career. The most recent Worlds, gold in the 2, silver in the 8. Bronze in the 100 and the 400. 4 medals for the Dutchman. Liu Yang, reigning world champion in 3 disciplines. Reigning Asian Games champion over 2, and he also won Paralympic gold in the 4x4 in London. He's from Guangzhou. Curtis Tom on the outside. 4x4 gold for Canada at the World Championships in Lyon in 2013. It's his 3rd Paralympic Games. So the first 2 to automatically qualify for the final, plus the next 2 fastest across the 3 heats. Kongjian, Liu, Adelaide, Gabi, Van Weigel, Tom. And they get away. Van Weigel wheeling very strongly at the moment, overtaking Tom on his outside, and also Liu Yang of China. He's overtaken Adelaide and is looking to do the same with Yassine Gabi of Tunisia on his outside. Van Weigel flying at the moment, looking very strong for the Netherlands. Liu moving up also now, and in between them, Gabi doing the best. Adelaide trying to keep up 4th rounds, but finding himself left in the way. Liu speeding up, and when they straighten up, I think Liu will just be in front of Van Weigel, and he will be. Gabi responding well for Tunisia. It's only the top 2 who will automatically go through. Liu Yang leading for China. Van Weigel holding off Gabi well. Liu Yang takes over China, 46.42. Van Weigel in 2nd place, and Gabi in 3rd.
Liu Yang went out hard. He was well drawn in 3. It's such, he's actually in 4. He's such a good lane, 3 and 4, because you've got most of the field outside you. Can keep an eye on them. Van Weigel had to find a couple of extra hard pushes to see off the man on his inside, which was Gabi of Tunisia. But Liu Yang had the best personal best coming in, so the race went, according to those times at least, a 46.42 is almost identical to his PB, 46.46, so he's actually shaved 400s off it. Got a women's shot put underway today, and the F40 class. These are for athletes of a short stature. Rita Onye of Nigeria, who is the world record holder, is in this field, which includes athletes from Tunisia, Morocco, Poland, China, Republic of Moldova, Nigeria's Anya, Ivory Coast, the Netherlands and the United States. Lorita Anya will take some beating, but here's Rima Abdelli from Sfax in Tunisia. Was third in Doha at the World Championships last year with a 6.75 meter throw. Second in the competition order, Hasna Mubal, 39-year-old from Casablanca, ninth in Beijing. Renata Slavinska from Poland with a best of 6.55. One of the younger in the field at just 20. Zhang Fengzhu from Chengde, fourth in Doha. One of only a few to get it out past 7 meters. Oksana Spataru, Republic of Moldova, is ninth in Doha. Raya Jabali of Tunisia, best of 7.04. And here she is, Lorita Anya, a 32-year-old world record holder. Hams it up. She does a bit of acting. We can tell you more about that later. From the Ivory Coast, Sabihi Clarice Lago. Spent some time getting that hair just so. Lago, who's 18 years of age. 19-year-old Lara Baas from the Netherlands. Second at the World Championships last year. That was a personal best for her with 6.80 meters. And Emily Frederick, studying human movement at Penn State. And she will go 10th and last in the competition order. We'll be aiming not to finish last, of course. So that's the field. Women's shot put F40.
Heat 2 of the men's 400 meters T54. Liu Yang winning the first heat, 46.42 ahead of Kenny Van Wiegel in second place, 46.60. Garbi with a strong time, 46.70. And Konshen also. They're in the fastest loser spots for now. In this heat, the reigning 800 meters world champion and 4x4 champion as well, Liu Chengming of China. Romanchuk went out in the semi-finals of the 5,000 meters for the United States. Here's Liu Chengming, also won a silver in the 400 in Doha at those World Championships. Won the relay gold at the Asian Games and at the last Paralympic Games as well. Bronze in the 400 meters last time out. This is Richard Kizaru. Gold in the 2 and the 4x4 and silver in the 1, the 4 and the 8 at the Europeans in Grosseto as he won 5 medals. From Harlow, he's also a sports coach. For Uruguay, first major championship, the man from Montevideo, former basketball player, Eduardo Dutra. It's Dupont in 2, Dutra 3, Kizaru 4, Nagao 5, Romanchuk 6, Lewin 7, and Carter in lane 8, with the first 2 to go through. So away they go again at the first time of asking, and Samuel Carter for Australia from Toowoomba in Queensland has got off to a brilliant start. He was 5th in the 200 metres at his only previous major championships in the Worlds in Doha. It's quite a divide already. Romanchuk away on Nagao, and the rest in the lanes close in have fallen way back. Dupont and Dutra. Liu going brilliantly for China. Carter's been caught up with on the outside, put a lot into the opening stages of the race. Kizaru going well for Great Britain also, and as they turn, it's he who leads. Richard Kizaru, now Liu responding. These are the 2 who'll go through, and it's Liu who takes it, 46.87, with Kizaru in second place. And third looked to be Nagao of Japan, who'll wait and see if he can get through into the final and Dutra of Uruguay last over the line. And he will be well applauded by his fellow South Americans. Uruguay sandwiched in between Brazil and Argentina at the mouth of the Rio de la Plata.
Great finish, this one, with Liu accelerating again down the home straight. Just took it a little easier around the last bend to then run down Kiyosaro. And Nagao of Japan has been given third in the time of 48.85. Kiyosaro made very good early ground on those outside him. Nicely drawn in 4 and looked to have Liu covered until the home straight, when Liu kicked again and won it by that much, down a wheel and a half. Impressive, Liu Chengming. But these first 2 heats give you an indication of how fast Zhang Lixin was to set a world mark of 45.07. These guys running 46.87.
He has also been involved in wheelchair basketball. He's a coach in that. He's played quite a bit of it as well. Reckons he was a bit of a school rebel. But he goes through along with Liu Chengming, all those successes and that individual 800 meters world title, along with those 4x4 glories at Paralympic, World and Asian Games level. Liu wins 46.87. Richard Kiyosaro second place, 46.98, and they're the 2 through.
So let's take a look at some of the action from the women's shot put. F40. Zhang Fengzhu of China has a personal best of 7:55, which is actually the best in the field, and that came this year. About 7:72 for Anya, of course, will be the best PB, and she holds the world record. But next after that is Zhang. .676. Not too happy that she didn't get it out past 7 meters. Just has to pick a moment for going across the track to consult the coach. She's followed in the order by Oksana Spataru from the Republic of Moldova. Spataru, just a 4-meter thrower, 397. That's a personal best for her. Doesn't travel across the ring before releasing the shot put. So it's a simple technique. Did get her into the top 10 at the World Championships, though. And a 4:02, that's a PB for Spataru.
Third heat of the men's 400 meters T54 features the 6-time Paralympic and world champion David Ware. Won 4 gold medals at London 2012, but not in the 400, but he is the reigning European champion in this. A former world champion over 400 as well. The Werewolf. One of the most recognizable sportsmen here. He was all the TV advertising between the Olympics and the Paralympic Games on television and on the trains when the videos used to come up. Mark Schuh of Germany. Ware getting his big introduction to the crowd now. Gold in the 4, the 8, the 15, the 5, and the 4x4. 5 gold medals in the Europeans in Grosseto and 4 in the last Paralympics. This is Mark Schuh of Germany. Silver in the 4, bronze in the 1, the 2, and the 8 in the Europeans in Swansea in 2014, and silver in the 4 and bronze in the 1 in the Worlds in Lyon in 2013. He's from Cologne and lives in Bergisch Gladbach, just outside. It's Yanton of Thailand in 2, Al-Dahiri UAE in 3, Lap in Australia 4, Kui of China in 5, Haitar USA 6, Shu 7, Weir 8. First 2 to go through. So away we go, our first look at the man who was a big home hero of the London Paralympic Games, David Weir. He shot off well. So is Mark Shu in 7, and Eric Haitar from the United States, from Arizona, in lane 6. And now Ki Yangfeng, who was involved in all those 4x4 relay successes also for China in 3 of the last 4 global championships. And it's those 3, Weir, Shu and Kui, who are battling for the 2 automatic qualifying spots. On the outside in lane 8, it's David Weir, jostling again with a sprint. Well, he's doing quite nicely as a sprinter, isn't he? Kui in 2nd place, Shu in 3rd, but David Weir's going to win it. 46.66. Kui 2nd, and I think Jake Lappin came up in a 3rd place for Australia with Shu in 4th. And, well, Weir was a shoo-in.
Down the home straight they come. Distance doesn't seem to matter what it is for David Weir. In the outside lane, whatever disadvantage you might have, where if you push hard and push often, as well as David Weir does, you still get the result. And he's beaten home Kui Yangfeng. And it was indeed Jake Lappin of Australia from Essendon in Victoria who got through in 3rd, but it's the first 2 in each heat and then the next 2 fastest, so we'll have to wait and see how that pans out. The 3rd place getter here. But Weir, very versatile. A lot of the wheelies are.
He's going for the... Here's the 4, the 8, the 15 and the 10 here.
Got a women's long jump to bring you today as well, and it's happening on the far side of the stadium. World record holder, of course, is not here, but there is a strong field of 13, and once again they've come from everywhere. Europe, China, Australia, happy to say Brazil as well. Santos and Hipólito both in this. Hipólito was silver medalist in the 100. This is Olivia Breen from St Albans near London. 6th at the World Championships last year. Anna Trina Vesiak from Krakow, best of 4:71. Ramuni Adamatieni of Lithuania, best of 4:65. Chen Junfei from Hunan, gold and 2 silvers on the track in London. Maria Fernandez of Portugal, 3rd in Lyon at the World Championships. Taylor Doyle from Sydney, best of 4:66, 5th at the Worlds. Lindy Ave of Germany, best of 4:45, that was set this year. You can't fight that cheer. Jennifer Santos, 27, best of 4:72. Vanessa Braun of Germany, first major competition for her, 4-meter jumper. Veronica Hipólito from Sao Paulo. Nicole Nikolajczyk, younger sister of Claudia, who's picked up a silver medal on the track. Erin Cleaver, born in Tamworth, New South Wales, lives in Charlestown, closer to Newcastle these days, at just 16 years of age. And Inna Sturzak, 31, 7 Paralympic medals already. Got a game face on. and she is the one to beat with a 4:96 personal best. Won the 100 and 200 in Beijing.
David Ware, one of the great champions, tilting for more medals in Rio to continue a truly magnificent career. 46.65, his winning time, Kui 47.81. Lappin in third, ahead of Xu in fourth. Liu Yang, the fastest, 46.42, ahead of Van Wiegel and Ware, with Gabi and Ponzhen making it as the fastest losers. We've got a big field for this men's 1500 meters, T13. It is least visual impairment. There's a few T12s thrown in here as well. Well, it's a big field. Lucas Vitetsky is the European champion. Henry Kowa, 3 goals in Beijing in 2008. See, I told you it was a big field. There's 14 in total. And it's T13, so no guides in this. Starting off with Jared Clifford of Australia, the 17-year-olds. Finished 7th in the 5,000 meters in Doha. Chad Davis of the USA. Silver in the 5,000 meters of the Para-Pan Ams in Toronto last year. Guillaume Welle of Canada, who is the Para-Pan Am champion over 1,500 meters and the world champion over 5. 4th in the 15 in Lyon in 2013. Abdoulaye Mame of Morocco, who won gold in 08 in Beijing over 800 meters and is a 4-time world champion, twice over 1,500 in 06 and 2015. For Algeria, this is Abdelif Baka, gold in the 8 and the 1,500 in Lyon, and it was a silver double in the same events in Doha. Bilal Hamami of Tunisia, major championship debut, also going in the 5,000. Youssef Ben Brahim of Morocco, silver in the 5,000 meters in Beijing in 08, 4th in the 15. Silver once, bronze twice in world championships. Fouad Baka, the brother for Algeria, major championship debut for him as well. Do you know where this man's from? Julio Cesar Agrippino dos Santos of Brazil. His major championship debut. Lucas Vitetsky of Poland, the reigning European champion over 1,500 and 5,000 alongside. Best Paralympic result, 4th in the 800 4 years ago, 7th in the 1,500. Yeltsin Jack of Brazil, silver in the 15, bronze in the 8. Yeltsin, for a good reason. Henry Kowa, gold in the 15, the 5 and the 10,000 meters in Beijing in 2008. And 2 men in the major championship debuts for Bilal Aloui of Tunisia and Tamiro Demissa of Ethiopia, who qualified for the World Championships in Doha, but who was unable to compete. And Yeltsin Jack was born the same month that Boris Yeltsin took over as president of Russia. There's timing. So away we go. Demissa, Aloui, Kowa, Jacques, Vitetsky, Agrippino dos Santos, Baka, Ben Brahim, Hamami, Mame, Welle, Davis and Clifford. And remiss of me not to mention by this stage that Fouad and Abdelif Baka are twin brothers. Championship debutants, 22 years old they are. So away we go. It's a great field. It's a proper 1,500 meters field. And it being T13, least visual impairment, it'll be a well-run race. Hamami leading from the front straight away, but here come the Brazilian pair, Agrippino dos Santos and Jack. to get the crowd wild straight away, and we've got 3 laps to go.
I wonder how much of a team they can make, Jacques and Agrippino dos Santos. They're running second and third. And I'm just thinking of young Jared Clifford there, a 17-year-old. He looks a boy running amongst men there, and he is really towards the back of the field. And he's got a best time of 3:56.48. But also have to keep an eye on the Kenyan sitting in the middle of the field at the moment, Henry Kerwa.
It's a little bit of bumping on the side. One of the backers getting involved there. Look to me with Demissa of Ethiopia, who too is making his championship debut, but the Brazilian pair are keeping themselves up well. And it's Agrippino dos Santos and it's Yeltsin Jacques who currently have the advantage, and now they're hitting the front, or at least they're doing their best to. Little bit of extra bumping here. Remember, there is visual impairment involved, so perhaps that shouldn't be much of a surprise. But they're coming through again. We've got 2 laps to go, and it's Hamami who's defended his position very well for Tunisia. And now with 2 laps to go, the Brazilians hit the front. Yeltsin Jacques.
Oh, Agrippino is falling.
Oh, trouble on the inside, but he managed to survive quite well, and he stayed in the race, and he's kept things going. Agrippino. Yeltsin Jacques with the big mop of hair, still fighting hard on the outside to overtake Bilal Hamami and take the lead with 700 to go.
Well, it might be down to Yeltsin Jacques to carry our Brazilian hopes now, because he almost staggered to the ground, did Agrippino dos Santos. That's a terrible piece of luck for him, and now he's towards the back of the field. So Yeltsin Jacques says, I'll take it on, and you're going to have to catch me from here.
Yeltsin Jacques hits the front, silver in the 1500 meters, remember, in Lyon in 2013 in the World Championships, and bronze in the 8, so he has form. And here he is in Rio, inspired by the 30,000, all that's happening around him. Now a bit of movement coming from the Bakar brothers. I think they're both coming up for Algeria, Fouad and Abdalif, and they are coming up, and it's Fouad who's in second place. Here's the bell. Good work by Yeltsin Jacques, and he's in front, but now the backers are looking to bounce. It's Fouad who's leading the way, and it's Abdalif in second place. So it's Fouad who leads, Abdalif in second. Henry Kerwa's moved up into third place, the man who's been here and done it all before, and it's the Ethiopian Tamira Demissa who's up in fourth place. The Brazilian challenge has faded away, but at the moment it's Algeria 1 and 2, it's Baka 1 and 2, and it's Fouad Baka who leads for Algeria. Abdalif is falling back a little bit now into fourth place. It'll be Africans 1 of 4, but how are they going to stretch out? It might be Ethiopia against Kenya. It's Demissa in second place. It's Kerwa in third, but Baka is fighting to keep this alive. Demissa on the outside for Ethiopia. Will he make it? Baka holding on. Demissa. Baka wins. Demissa second. And in third place, Kerwa for Kenya. Abdalif Baka in fourth for Algeria. And Fouad Baka gets the gold. And it's a new world record. 3:48.29. He's broken it by 200ths of a second. That's set by Zhou of Tunisia at London 2012. It could have been gold and silver, not just for the same country, but for the same family and for twins. Oh, brilliant.
What a race. He was certainly challenged, Abdelatif Baka. What a finish. What drama throughout. And what tough luck for Julio Cesar Agrippino dos Santos, who stumbled just when he seemed to be making a good run alongside his teammate Yeltsin Jacques, who faded also. So it is Demis of Ethiopia second, and Kenya's Henry Kerwa third. So gold, silver and bronze to Algeria, Ethiopia and Kenya. And one of the better 1500s you'll ever see.
Oh, it was a brilliant race, and Demissa just ended up missing out on the line, and those are the twin Baka brothers celebrating. Abdelatif has won it. Fouad was in fourth place. Agrippino just stumbled there with 2 laps to go, and it really ruled him out. Yeltsin Jacques kept it going as long as he could, but had his race run with 200 to go. It's unfortunate, he just seemed to lose his footing. I'm not sure if he was clipped.
It was Hamami who was closest to him. It was difficult to tell. And then Jacques, he too couldn't keep up the pace set by Kerwa and Baka. And of course the Ethiopian Tamira Demis.
Abdelatif Baka breaking the world record. Tamisa so close. Tamisa almost made it, but he put his arms up in the air to celebrate the second place. Kerwa was in third. Brilliant. I thought at one stage he was just going to get it. He was gaining all the time, and he just lost his momentum. There. Well, I'll tell you something. I'm just wondering if he didn't think he'd crossed the line. It's funny, it was...
Yeah, it was a strange moment to throw the arms up. His rhythm looked all right, so perhaps he didn't realise exactly where the finish line was. Baka certainly did.
Visual impairment is involved, obviously. That's worth reminding you. But it was a terrific race. And so is this. Women's 400 metres, T53. First race of the evening session. As we always say, the wheelchair category is very, very competitive. We've got the president of the IPC presenting the medals here. He's obviously had a busy week. I'm sure he's been at every sporting event he can manage in Rio.
Well, I know you thought that Angie Ballard might receive more than one Tom mascot, and so it's going to be.
Yes. She may have a full set by the end of this competition. Angie Ballard has won gold medals at World Championships and Commonwealth Games. Still awaiting that big Paralympic Games breakthrough. This her fourth Paralympics, and she picks up yet another medal. It's her second bronze of the competition and her second top. Good work, Angie.
Coached these days by the great Louise Savage, who herself won 9 gold medals.
Her 7th Paralympic medal. A first ever Paralympic medal for Chelsea McClammer. It's the first Paralympic Games, 22 years old, based out of Benton City, Washington. But she races out of the University of Illinois with a great parasport program. She's the reigning Pan Am champion over 400 and 800 meters. And Chelsea McClammer will feel very proud about what she's achieved here. It's the start of a brilliant career. And she won bronze in the 200 at the World Championships in Lyon, and bronze in the 500 then. Sorry, 5,000 should I say, and Doha, so she is versatile. Her first global silver. Xu Hongxuan wins at her 4th straight Paralympic Games. Gold in the 4 and the 8 at London 2012. Gold in the 800 in Beijing in 08. And the reigning world champion over 1,500 meters, having previously been world champion over 400 and 800 in Lyon. And she's won a 4x4 gold to boot. And in a world record time here, 54:43. It was silver for her in the 100 meters, gold here. An anthem we have become very much accustomed to over the past 3 Paralympic Games, and played in honor of Zhu Hongxuan for China, Chelsea McClellan the silver for the United States, and Angie Ballard the bronze for Australia. Good job. Well, we could have had Abaka and Abaka winning gold and silver. Abdel Talif Baka with a new world record, 3:48.29 to get the gold for Algeria. To miss at the silver for Ethiopia, and Henry Kerr with the bronze for Kenya. More great athletes being honoured in this women's 400 metres. T54. Tatiana McFadden, such a great campaigner. And just one of these athletes, it feels as if she's been around forever. She's 27 years old. So Philip Craven involved in the ceremony again. These great campaigners, and similarly, Professor Dr. Gudrun Doltepa. Zhu Lihong. It's her second all-time Paralympic medal. Bronze in the 800 in London, and now bronze in the 400 here. She is the reigning champion over 3 distances, including the 4x4 relay. World champion in the 800 and the 5,000. But bested in this today. From Shanghai. Great to see Sherry Madsen back. Her first Paralympic medal since Sydney 2000, where she won the 100 and this 400. She won 4 medals in Atlanta 1996. That long break out of the sport. There's the family, and now she's back in competitive sport and winning major medals again. 5th in the 100 meters here. And it's silver in the 400. Brilliant competitor. Everything that can be said pretty much has been for now, but we're just going to think of new ways. It's going to be a long Paralympics. Tatjana McFadden picks up his second medal, her first gold of Rio 2016. Silver in the 100 meters behind Lu Wenchun, who finished fourth in this. And she has successfully defended a 400 meters Paralympic crown. It's a fourth all-time Paralympic gold, her 11th medal overall for the 12 times world champion. In honor of Tatjana McFadden. A sight we may be getting very used to at these Paralympic Games. Tatjana McFadden at the top of the podium with a gold medal. Remember, she won 6 golds at the 2013 World Championships in Lyon, and she can still do that here.
You know, on the dais, she's much like she is when she's racing. She's just composed, calm, confident. Looks like she belongs there. Let's go across to the shot put, women's F40 event, and the world record holder, Orita Onye of Nigeria. Onye. Perhaps we won't. There, but we'll come back to that. Great to have Sir Philip Craven here, IPC president, and it was lovely to hear him speak at the opening ceremony. I'd encourage you, if you want to know what the Paralympic movement is about and where it wants to be, and what they'd like us all to think about and do, have a look at his speech. I'm sure you can find it online or somewhere. It was one of the more compelling speeches made at an opening ceremony of any event. He's a good man doing a great job heading up the IPC. And I think the Brazilian people have responded to him, turning up in such fantastic numbers. Anyway, we've got long jump happening as well. And that's where we're going to go with Chen Junfei. This is the T38 category. Chen arriving at these games with the best jump this year, and it's a PB of 466. Take-off foot a bit behind the board, so she's got something to play with there. And a 468. So that's actually a PB for her by 2 centimetres. Well done.
I mentioned a few times, Botafogo are the home football club here, and the black and white stripes just on the left of your picture, that's their shirt, the white star. Uruguay with a fan or 3 in the house.
Now we've got a chance to go back to the shot put and the favourite for the event. 32-year-old from Nigeria, Morita Onye. No certainties in sport. Be surprised if she didn't win it, though. Oh, hang on a minute. This looks like a world record throw from Onye. The old mark was 7.72, and she set at the World Championships last year in Doha. And Onye a 7.83 with her first attempt. And so she's beaten the world record by 12 centimetres.
The final of the women's 100 metres, T47. Arm amputee category. It features the world champion, Deja Young, and the double Paralympic champion, Yundis Castillo. Here's Anna Grimaldi, who so famously won gold in the long jump here, right at the end. They would have been celebrating wildly in Dunedin, and maybe they will be again. Lane 3 for Japan, Sai Tsuji, who finished 6th in this 100 metres in the World Championships in Doha. Pauline Maton, who's with the Team Bath Club in Great Britain, 7th in the long jump here, was 8th in the long jump in Doha. The reigning Pan American and Paralympic champion, and the former 3-time world champion, Yundis Castillo of Cuba. 5 Paralympic golds, 9 world titles for the bullet from Santiago de Cuba. European champion over 100 and 200 for Poland, Alicia Fyodorov. From the United States, the world champion over 100 meters, Deja Young. From Brazil, a very good jumper, bronze in the 1 and the 2 in the Parapanams in Toronto, it's Sheila Finder. And also from Brazil, silver in the 1 and the 2 in Toronto. Terezinha de Jesus Correa Santos, who goes simply as Tera. Well, Yundis Castillo, the world record holder when she won this title at London 2012, 11.95, but the world champion is now Deja Young. Castillo had a big mishap in the final. She crossed the line in 8th place. That was in Doha, but still won gold in the 2 and silver in the 4. So Grimaldi in 2, Tsuji in 3, Maton 4, Castillo 5, Fyodorov 6, Young 7, Finder 8, De Jesus Correa Santos in 9. The final of the women's 100 meters, T47. They're away. Castillo living up to her nickname. Oh, she's gone. Castillo's gone. Deja Young, the world champion, takes over. Deja Young's going to be the Paralympic champion. She's going to do it in a 12.16. Young with the gold. Fyodorov the silver. A blanket for the bronze. Might just have been Sushi in the end, but just as happened in Doha in the World Championship final, Yundis Castillo has had a massive problem. She pulled up barely on halfway, and she's going to walk away across the finish line. Deja Young, the world champion, takes the Paralympic title, and it's bronze for Brazil for Terezinha de Jesus Correa Santos. Grimaldi was 4th for New Zealand, but Deja Young is the Paralympic champion.
Well, a sensational race, a controversial one. And Castillo ruled out of it in the first 20 or 30 metres.
She's walking away to the line, just as happened in Doha.
And Deja Young And third place to Teresina de Jesus Correa Santos. The fight between her and Grimaldi for the bronze medal was quite something. But Deja Young.
Well, let's
see what happens here. Castillo brilliantly out of the blocks, and then it's gone. So it's the race handed virtually to Young. Fedorov second. Now watch the fight for third here. Down in the outside lane in 9. De Jesus Correa Santos just pips Grimaldi.
Well, Steve, I've just actually, while you've been watching the replay, I've actually got up the video of last year's World Championship final. Exactly the same thing happening to Castillo in exactly the same place. Just around 40 metres or so. She'd been in the lead there, and then it just all went wrong. And as exactly happened in Doha, then Deja Young takes over and goes all the way through to win. It's remarkable.
And do you recall what her explanation was for why the rhythm just completely went? Was it not an injury? I'm not sure.
It's happened again. Deja Young wins it. Fyodorov de Silva and Teresina de Jesus Correa Santos the bronze. Grimaldi a creditable fourth for New Zealand, and 12:15 the winning time. It's extraordinary. The same thing should happen again to Castillo.
With the long jump, T38. Mamuni Adamatieni of Lithuania from Klaipėda. And a jump of close to her personal best, which is 4:65. She was fourth in London, second in Doha and Lyon. And she won the World Championships in Christchurch in 2011. Did Adamatieni. And as is the way of the long jumpers, they can come over and get a little bit of advice about how to improve on the next jump. But she's got 2 fair jumps away. Chen Junfei is leading this competition with a 4:77, which is a PB. And she looks around to just make sure everything was all right there. Chen opened up with a 4:68. And that eclipsed a personal best by a couple of centimetres. Ines Terzak of Ukraine, warm favourite coming in. And a 4:77 for the second attempt for Chen Junfei.
Next final on the track, the men's 100 metres, T11. Prospects, again, strong for Brazil. Paralympic record holder, Felipe Gomez. He goes in lane 1. David Brown, the Pan Am and world champion and world record holder, set a new Paralympic record in the heats. Chikongo looking impressive also for Namibia. Absolutely brilliant reception for Felipe Gomez of Brazil, the 200 meters world champion, silver in the 100 and gold in the 400 and the 4x1 of the Pan Ams. He's the reigning Para 200 champion, and he's from Rio. David Brown, the reigning world champion, goes in lane 3 alongside Jerome Avery, the former international sprinter for the United States, the reigning 100 meters world champion, and the Pan Am champion over 1 and 2. 3 golds of the All-African Games for Namibia. Ananias Chikongo, silver in the 2 in the World Championships in Doha, and bronze in the 100 for Di Dongdong of China. Brown, Chikongo and Di won their semi-finals. There were 3 of them. Gomez with huge amount of home support. Chikongo with the new African record in the heats of 11.17, and Brown with a new Paralympic record in the heats as well of 11.03. David Brown, who took the title in Doha and who set the world record 2 years ago in California.
Crowd will set up a bit of a din, and then they'll obey the big screens here that tell them, quiet please, silencio por favor. And they behave themselves, and there'll be a burst of noise when it starts.
They've been very knowledgeable, haven't they, the crowd in Rio? And the crowds are getting bigger. Gomez in 1, Brown in 3, Chikongo 5, Di Dong Dong in 7. The final of the men's 100 meters, T11. And they're away, and Brown's away well. Di Dong Dong also for China. Big support for Gomez, for Brazil on the inside. But David Brown's going to take the Paralympic title. And Gomez gets the silver. Chikongo the bronze. 10.99. A new Paralympic Games record for David Brown. And he's on the top step of the Paralympic podium, having gone out in the semi-finals in London. 10.99.
And as Felipe Gomez's name goes up on the big screen as second place getter, the crowd greets that news with the usual noise. Ran a good race, Felipe Gomez and his guy Jonas de Lima Silva, but David Brown just a little too good, with Jerome Avery alongside. They made a very good start. And they held their form. Gomez did actually come at him a little in the last 15-20 metres. And they managed to find a couple of stars and stripes. Might have had that organised beforehand. They look brand new, those flags.
Well, they'll be getting good use here. There's no doubting that. David Brown.
10.99, a season best from him. It was 11.03 prior. He owns the world record at 10.92. Wasn't much outside it.
It was a good, strong race from him, and he got away out of the blocks brilliantly. Gomez rallying very, very well at this stage. Di Dong Dong had started excellently. Brown shooting away by this stage. Gomez behind. Guides all got it right. And Chikongo, a new African record, 11.11, beating the mark by 600ths that he set in the first round heats. Brown released by Avery. It's great teamwork. It's poetry in motion.
Yeah, Chikongo was closing too, and the margin between second and third just 3/100s, 11.08 to 11.11. Arms and legs have to be in unison for guide and runner.
I mean, just look at the unison between Brown and Avery. Very impressive, absolutely stride for stride, and it has to be. And then released, Brown crossing the line first.
That tracking side on camera is magic to watch, because it just shows that they were running almost like one person, and they need to be at this level.
Great synchronicity. It takes practice.
A lot of practice, and that's why the guides get medals too.
Sunday night's all right. David Brown wins, Paralympic record, 10.99. Gomez the silver, 11.08. Chikongo the bronze, 11.11. Di Dong Dong in fourth for China.
We've got action in the women's shot put, where Loretta Onye of Nigeria has broken the world record. A couple of times so far. It stood at 7.72. No one's ever broken 8 meters in this event, but she just might do it. Oh, she just might do it. That's well out there. It's a fair throw. And Loretta Onye, a serious athlete, also works as an actress. But she's not kidding here. Can she be the first past 8:40? 8 meters 40. That's worth a dance. Oh my goodness. So the world record's gone from 7:70 to 8:40.
Another of the great finals, the men's 200 meters, T42, the world record set in London at the Anniversary Games in July, the Paralympic record set in the semi-final. Richard Whitehead, the reigning European, world and Paralympic champion, goes in this in lane 6 alongside his compatriot David Henson. It's a great field. Here's Daniel Wagner Jorgensen of Denmark. Has previously gone as Daniel Jorgensen, now Daniel Wagner, a bit like John Cougar Mellencamp. Great long jumper, gold in the Europeans, also a snowboarder. This is David Henson. Silver in the 200 meters in Grosseto at the European Championships. A 3-time world champion, Paralympic champion over 200 meters. Flex those muscles over the line in London. He's getting practice in. Richard Whitehead for Great Britain. Regis Woods of the United States, the reigning Pan Am long jump champion, bronze in the long jump at the Worlds. First major championship at the IPC level for Ntando Malango of South Africa, athlete of the IWAS Under-23 World Games in Prague last year. Here's the Pan Am champion, Shaquille Vance of the United States, based in Chula Vista, Canada. His coach, Joachim Cruz, that 800 meters Olympic champion, LA 84. The Asian Games champion, it's Anil Prasanna Jalayath Yoda Pedagi of Sri Lanka, serves in the army, gold in the 200 in the Asian Games. And his colleague also in the army, Unel Indika Chalada Abarana Gadara, bronze in the 1 and 2 in the Asian Games. And they're in a brilliant relay team as well. So Whitehead, by far the man to watch. He gets in his stride, past the bell, and he went pretty much from last to first, famously, brilliantly, in his home Paralympic Games in London. Aparana Kadara in 1, Yoda Pedagi in 2, Vance in 3, Malangu 4, Woods 5, Whitehead 6, Henson 7, Wagner Jorgensen in 8. The final of the men's 200 meters, T42. And away they go. Wagner Jorgensen well into his stride. Whitehead will take a while to get going, and Henson as well, but now Whitehead will straighten up and go for home. Vance going well for the United States. Here comes Richard Whitehead for Great Britain, on his way to defend his title, and also Malanga for South Africa. Whitehead's gonna get the gold, he'll defend it, 23.39. Malangu gets the silver. Vance and Henson up there for the bronze, but Whitehead successfully defends his crown. He's got the gold again. Maybe he wanted a faster time, but he's the Paralympic champion once more. Malangu second, 23.77 with a new African record. And Richard Whitehead, glory in London in 2012, and he's a world championship to aim for as well. Gold and bronze for Britain, because Henson got that and he's realised it now. It was a tight finish for the bronze, but the race for gold, anything but tight.
One for the Blade Runners. What a spectacular race to watch as they wind it up in the straight. Once they negotiate the bend, the blades really go to work. And it was, of course, Whitehead who was able to put them to best use, as he so often does. It was a brilliant start from Shaquille Vance of the United States. He was probably leading after 15, 20 meters. But it was this man, Richard Whitehead, coming down the straight. Very tight for third, and Henson has got there ahead of Shaquille Vance. 24.74 for Henson, 24.86 for Vance. So Vance in lane 3, immediately up on the inside of a couple of runners, three in fact. Whitehead second from the outside as you look at them now. And then Henson will come home strongly. Now Whitehead hits top gear and he's joined by Malangu of South Africa. Whitehead powerfully to the line. Points to the crowd, and a withering finish offered by David Henson to get himself the bronze medal.
Yeah, when he straightens up, Whitehead is just a joy to watch. It's such a smooth style, and Henson very much emulating that. In fact, Henson reminded me very much of Whitehead's run at London 2012.
You can see why they're so strongly built upstairs, because the arms do a lot of work in this classification. He is absolutely pumping the top half of the body, and Henson gallops across to get the bronze medal.
Yeah, got the guns out in London 2012, wanted a different celebration this time, and he's got it, and he's got another gold. He's 40 years old now, but it's the Olympic Stadium in London where next year's World Championships are going to be in July. Yeah, okay, there is the celebration back, but not on the line this time. He is a brilliant champion, Richard Whitehead. Takes the gold this time, 23:39. Malangu the silver for South Africa, and Henson the bronze for Great Britain. Shaquille Vance, fourth for the United States. And he came very close to breaking his old world record in the semi-final, you know.
Lara Baars of the Netherlands in sixth place at the moment in the shot put. This is the F40 class, athletes of a short stature. Lara's just 19 years of age, was second at the World Championships last year. Has a best of 680, and that best is under threat from that attempt. Backs towards the front of the ring, then swings around and drives it well. Liked it. And we've got a 7.12 from Lara Baars. That's the first time she's thrown over 7 meters. And Baars is into bronze medal position, so she's happy on 2 counts. Renata Slavinsky sitting 6th at the moment. She's also thrown a personal best today of 6.64, and that's just over 6 meters, so no improvement to that. But again, so many athletes setting new marks for themselves and for their region, for the Paralympics and for the world. And perhaps a little tired with the 6th and final throw, Renata Slavinska. 6.15. 6.64 first up. It was a mighty throw from Slavinska. Now, Raya Jabali of Tunisia, sitting outside the medals at the moment in 5th place. Assists it on its way with a good shout. Jabali with a 6.99 today. She's thrown 7.04, and just repeating that most of the field has thrown a PB today. And she must be feeling like she's a little out of the party, not doing so. Jabali a 6.77 with her final attempt. So we're getting towards the end of this competition. Should only be 3 throws to go, and we've got Zhang now. Zhang in 4th position, so she's just been pushed out of the medals by that wonderful throw from Lara Baars of the Netherlands of 7.12. So Zhang needs that or better. Well, How far beyond the 6 metre ribbon is that? Zhang, best so far of exactly 7 metres. Oh, nearly tumbles forward out of the ring. Would have made it a foul, but it's not. It's going to get measured. But how will it come back? He's a bit anxious about this. And a 7.06. Oh, not quite good enough to catch Lara Bars, who threw 7.12. So no medal for Zhang. Two throwers left. Rima Abdelli from Sfaxien, Tunisia, a 7 metre thrower, and she's thrown 7.37 today. Twice. So PB for her. They're loving this stadium, the atmosphere, the support. Makes such a difference when so many people are watching and enjoying what you're doing, and she puts it out there towards 7 metres, but it won't be an improvement on her 7.37, but it will be a silver medal for Rima Abdelli of Tunisia. And she comes up smiling. She's done a PB, she's got a medal, it's a good day. And now it's all about this woman who holds the world record. Held it at 7.72 coming in, Loretta Onye of Nigeria. And she's smiling because she's got the gold. She's already smashed the world record. She's taken it to a whole new level at 8.40, and it was 7.72. So this one's just for fun. Loretta Onye of Nigeria. Gives it plenty of height. It's not out past her new world record. Do you think she cares? I don't think so. It's gold for Nigeria. Loretta Onye has absolutely owned this final. Her first throw was 7.27. Then 7.37 twice. Beg your pardon. And she's thrown further than that. Now they've shifted her up the top. I can give you those numbers properly. 8.40 was her fourth attempt. And that was the new world record. She started off at 7.83, so smashed it with the very first throw. 7.54, 7.55, then 8.40. And that mark will take some beating. Loretta Onye. So it's going to be gold for Nigeria, silver for Tunisia, and bronze for the Netherlands. And PBs all over the place. And a staggering world record for the 32-year-old from Lagos. She's got some moves. Rima Abdelli, silver medal performance with the 7.37. So she's a metre behind in a shot put event. That tells you about the dominance of Onye. And Lara Bars, she's thrown out the throw of her life as well.
Men's 1500 metres T13 victory ceremony. Ed Warner and Alexandre Chichima, our presentation party. quite a result in the end. Henry Kewa taking the bronze in this race, the former triple gold medalist from Beijing 2008. A bronze in 2012, that was in the 5,000 meters. He actually finished fifth in this 1500 in London. Hasn't been at the last two World Championships. There would have been funding issues for quite a few African nations, unfortunately. But he's here, he's won the bronze. Temiro Demise was a great break for the line. As he wins his silver medal in his first major championship. Abdelatif Bakar at one stage was jousting for gold with his twin brother Fouad, who ended up in fourth place. It was a world record as well, 3:48.29. Abdelatif Bakar gets the gold for Algeria at the age of 22. Improved his lifetime best by just over 4 seconds, 4.2. And it's Algerian gold. Excellent performance by Abdelatif Bakar. I'm sure we'll hear a lot about him and his brother for a long time to come. I'm sure we'll hear a lot about Temiro Demise as well. Akawa with the bronze for Kenya.
Celebrations continuing around the scene of a dramatic shot put event. Won so sensationally by Lorita Anye, who had the role in that movie Lords of Money, it was called. That was only last year she was in this movie. She calls herself Laurie White when she's an actress. She's Lorita Anye when she's an athlete, and she's got a gold medal. Looks this way, Lorita Anye, that world record of 8:40, it was 7:72, and it's Anya who has smashed her own. Rima Abdelli of Tunisia, Laura Baz of the Netherlands, 7:37 and 7:12 respectively. And they're both throwing PBs. Then Zhang and Jabali of China and Tunisia, Slavinska of Poland, Mubal and Lago of the Ivory Coast and Morocco, rounding out the top 8. Then Frederick and Spataru, USA and Moldova. Terrific crowd enjoying the racing.
We've action now in the women's 200 meters T12. This is medium visual impairment. You can run with a guide if you wish. It is optional. two of the three medalists from the 100 meters go in this, in the form of Katrin Muller-Rothgart. It was her first ever global medal. Great stage to do it in. And Elena Chibanu, who won the silver. Also in this, Alice de Oliveira Correa, who finished fourth in that 100 meters decider. Here's Joylyn Jeffrey of Papua New Guinea. Went out in the first round of the 100 meters. It's her second Paralympic Games. She's the only female athlete here across all sports for her nation. And there's one man as well. Lane 5, Elena Chibanu, the silver medalist in the 100 meters, reunited again with Hakim Ibrahimov. Silver in the 100, bronze in the 2 in the World Championships 2015. In lane 3, fourth in the 100 meters for Brazil. Silver in the 1 and the 2, fourth in the 100 meters here. She's from Rio, Alice de Oliveira Correa. Her guide, Diogo Cardoso de Silva. And here's the 100 meters bronze medalist here for this week. The reigning European champion over 1 and 200 meters, Katrin Muller-Rothgart, alongside her guide, Sebastian Fricke. It's only the winner who goes automatically through to the final here, plus the next two fastest. So 3 of the 4 finalists from the 100 meters in this. Muller-Rothgart in 1. De Oliveira Correa 3. Chibanu 5. Jeffrey in lane 7 in this 200 meters. Well, they're away, and Joylyn Jeffrey running solo. Chibanu's got off to a brilliant start here. De Oliveira Correa beginning to fight back for Brazil. Chibanu leading at the halfway point on the turn into the closing straight. Elena Chibanu not easing up. Muller-Rothgart's moving up in towards second place ahead of Cardoso de Silva. It'll be Elena Chibanu who's going to take this. And 24:17 is a new Paralympic record. Very impressive by Elena Chibanu. And here's Joylyn Jeffrey through in 4th place for Papua New Guinea. And Chibanu, very, very impressive with Muller-Rothgart in 2nd.
Chibanu looked good, looked comfortable in doing it. Out in lane 5. And a cracking time, 24:17. So Chibanu quickly past Papua New Guinea's Joylyn Jeffrey. Became a question of whether Brazil and Germany on the inside, De Oliveira Correa and Muller-Rothgart could catch her. It looked like Muller-Rothgart might on the stagger, and then Chibanu re-accelerated. Guide eases back at the line, make sure everything's legal. And Chibanu 24:17, so 24:12 was her PB up until moments ago. Oh, still is, beg your pardon. That's outside, isn't it? Not inside. Thanks, Will. You could have tapped me on the shoulder there. 24:12 remains her PB. She's just outside it by 500ths.
Well, she's got a great chance next time round in the final to pull that off. Chibanu, very good guide, as we say. Hakim Ibrahimov is an international athlete. He's been in some of the men's races here as well as a guide, and an international athlete in his own right. And the advice all the way with Chibanu. Holding hands all the way, right until the end, and she's released and she wins, and Chibanu takes it. A Paralympic record breaking that of Aissa El-Anouni from London 2012, 24:16. Muller-Rothgart will have to wait with her 24:73.
Plenty of action at the long jump. Now Taylor Doyle of Australia, she's from Sydney. She's having a good competition too, I can tell you. Up in the medals at the moment. Now, if that one was legal, she's very close to the end of the board. Taylor Doyle, 23 years of age. She was 5th in the World Championships last year, 9th in Lyon. Began her athletics, as so many do in Australia, in the juniors, little athletics as it's called. And a 4.62, and that's in 2nd position.
Second heat of the women's 200 metres T12, featuring the reigning world champion, the Pan Am champion, and the world record holder, Amara Durand, who's already won the 100 here. Oksana Baturchuk won her heat in the first round of the 100 metres, but was disqualified, guide issues with Vladimir Burkagov. Former European and twice world champion she is. Paralympic Games champion over 100 metres in 08. Gold in the 2 in Lyon, and previously in 06 in Assen. Grelis Villarreal of Venezuela, who went out in the semi-finals of the 100 metres, but bronze in the 100 and the 200 at the Pan Ams in Toronto last year. And here she is, gold in the 1, 2 and the 4 in Doha in the World Championship. She'd done that in Toronto a few months earlier. The reigning Paralympic 100 and 400 champion, Amara Durand, with the guide Lionel Kindelan. She's the one they have to beat, really. 23.03, that world record, set in winning the World Championship in Doha last October. Durand with the world record already here, and the Paralympic record going in the previous heat. It's the sort of track that sprinters would pay good money for if they could. Durand in 3, Villarreal 5, Baturchuk 7, only the winner automatically through. So away we go, and Durand flying straight away in 3. Villarreal's got off to a good start, but Baturchuk a better one. But it's Durand who leads the way at the bend, with Baturchuk in 2nd place. So Durand well clear at this stage. Baturchuk not very far behind, but the Cuban is going to take this, and the time looks as if it's going to be very nice indeed. 23.68. That's a new Paralympic record for Amara Durand, with Baturchuk 2nd, Villarreal 3rd, and Elena Chibanu. The ink wasn't even dry in the record book before it was wiped clean by Amara Durand. 23.67.
It's rounded down to 23.67, and a season best for Amara Durand, carrying on the good form that landed her the 100 metres gold medal. Certainly Baturchuk in the closing 50 took some ground away from her, but a wonderful start. She was quickly past Grelis Villarreal of Venezuela in lane 5. Then she had Baturchuk covered. But down the last 40 or 50 metres, Baturchuk held her form nicely, and Durand wasn't increasing a lead. Has switched off a little over the last 5 or 10 metres, you could suggest, Durand, but 23.68. That's a good time, considering she probably had a little bit left.
Yeah, looking very, very good, wasn't she? And it's still a Paralympic record. Actually, Baturchuk was inside that new Paralympic record mark of Chibanu as well. 24.02 to Chibanu's 24.16. But Durand, they're great athletes. Being in this circuit, always have a great style.
Yeah, I just wonder if she isn't carrying some kind of minor niggle high up on that right thigh with that support she has there.
Yeah, Durand winning it. 23.67 Paralympic record. Baturchuk through as well, 24.02 inside that Paralympic record that was 5 minutes old, and Villarreal in 3rd. So Durand, Baturchuk, Chibanu, Muller-Rotgat. It's looking like a nice field.
Action continues. Women's long jump T38, primarily athletes with some degree of cerebral palsy, with an impaired range of motion. Chen Junfei is somewhat of a surprise leader in this competition. We're not seeing the best from Ina Sterzak of Ukraine. the moment it's China, Australia and Poland. And Chen started off the competition with a 468, then a 477. She's been very consistent through her first few attempts. Chen Junfei from Hunan province. Gold and 2 silvers in the track in London. 100, 200 and relay. Turning her attention very successfully to the long jump and a 467. 477 is her best, and that is a PB as well. Lithuania's Ramuni Adomatieni sitting just outside the medals. Needs a 450 odd to maybe get in there. Maybe just short of that. Arrives at this competition with a personal best of 465. She was 4th in London, 2nd in Doha and Lyon, and her best international result, a World Championship win in Christchurch 2011. .443 with her 5th attempt. So certainly getting to the pointy end of this competition. Anna Trina Wesiak of Poland. Best so far of 453, which has her in the bronze medal position. Sets off. Can she climb higher up the rankings? No, I don't think so. I know that that's better than 452. I'll leave it the officials to end the speculation about that little question. Sitting nicely though. She's an environmental engineer, Trina Wesiak. 453, identical to round 1. There's always room for improvement.
Victory ceremony for the women's 100 meters, T47. It was hard lines really on Unides Castillo in this, because precisely the same thing happened to her in this final as happened in the World Championship final in Doha in October. In the lead, and then some sort of ankle problem, and she broke down, and that was the end of it. And she would walk the remaining 50 meters, registering a time and officially finishing in 8th place, but past the minute mark. And it meant that Deja Young and Alicia Fyodorov would benefit again. Of course, we'll never know. What would have been the case if it had been Castillo and Young jousting to the line on both occasions? It's the the only 2 occasions Young and Castillo have been in a 100 meters final against each other. For Brazil, another medal, Teresina de Jesus Correa Santos. Bronze in the 400 at the World Championships in 2013. But you just look what this bronze medal means in front of a packed Encinau, 30,000 at least here in Rio de Janeiro for the Paralympic Games. And a message to the nation from Tara. Tara is tearing up. The European record in the semi-final, came close to it in the decider. The European 100 and 200 champion for the 4th consecutive Paralympic Games picks up a medal. It is her 3rd silver, and she's won a couple of bronzes as well, 3 bronzes actually. Fyodorov on the podium again. Deja Young, the world champion, is now the Paralympic champion too. Gold in Rio de Janeiro, and Young is young, 20 she is. She's got a great career already. And she got silver in the 200 in those most recent World Championships. And she has the gold medal, she has the Golden Tom, she's the Paralympic champion. And now about to hear the piece of music that she wanted to hear. Young hearts run free, and it's gold for Deja in Rio de Janeiro.
I guess for Castillo it was deja vu, and it was gold for Deja Young. Castillo breaking down disastrously in that final. Sad to see. Great to see Deja Young, such a proud and deserving winner.
It was very, very unfortunate for her. So now the men's 100 meters T11 presentation party. It'll be the same piece of music again here. Records being beaten all over the place in the track. Another Paralympic record here, another Asian record also. Donald Royer and Henk van Aller, our presentation party again. Henk van Aller of the International Blind Sports Association. Treble gold, glory in the All-African Games for him. Previously, he has won 3 World Championship medals, a couple of silvers, a bronze, but now a Paralympic Games bronze for Ananias Shikongo and his guide Evan Chivuji of Namibia, and that African record, 11.11. It's very close to the Paralympic record of Lucas Prado going into this final. And not just of Brazil, but he is from Rio. The world champion over 200 meters, the Paralympic champion over 200. Will be a prime candidate for that when it comes around, but it is a silver in his home city at the Paralympic Games. For him and for Jonas de Lima Silva. Lifetime best as well, 11:08. And a wonderful success that he will always remember, and he gets the silver, Tom, and the acclaim of this golden crowd. The sweet sound of success. He was 19 years old at London 2012, was David Brown. Went out in the first round of the relay and beaten in the semi-finals of the 1 and the 2. And now look at him. Pan Am double in Toronto. Followed that up with gold in the 100 in the World Championships. And now he is the Paralympic Games champion. And as guide Jerome Avery, a fine international sprinter in his own right, who almost made the Olympic Games. The anthem of the USA. It's another brilliant story. Brown, Gomez and Chikongo, 3 great medalists in this T11 category, and such a relationship with the guides.
Getting down to the final few jumps in the women's long jump T38. Adomatieni of Lithuania has one last shot of getting into the top 3. This is it. And I don't think that's good enough. She needs 4:54 to displace Anatrina Wetsiak of Poland. Looks around 4:40. And 4:42 it is. 4:52 was her best. So no medal, unfortunately, for Lithuania in this one. Just got 3 left. Anatrina Wetsiak sitting in bronze medal position. And she needs to find something over 4:62. Not sure she didn't foul there. It's close. Having a good look at this. The takeoff foot was very adjacent. And it is a foul. Well, she gets the bronze medal, and that means that Taylor Doyle of Australia is guaranteed at least the silver. Well, it must have been the very front of the shoe that made an impression on the plasticine. It looks so close. And it'll be the bronze medal for Trina Wesiak of Poland. Well, this means a fair bit of excitement in Windsor, in northwestern Sydney, because Taylor Doyle, who works in the gym there, is assured of a silver medal. She understands that, and she understands she's got one jump left to try and find a jump around 480 to get past Chen Junfei. 462 with her third. Last attempt for Doyle. And she leaves the pit knowing, I think, that that wasn't going to be the one to get her a look at gold. Hit the board very nicely, didn't leave too many centimetres available there. Perhaps tiring towards the end of the competition. It's a big field, long event. And the favourite, in my view, Ines Sterzak, didn't even make the last 8. She finished 9th. A 4:42 with a final jump from Taylor Doyle, and the silver medal for her. Congratulations to the 23-year-old. Did come 5th in Doha. This is an excellent result for her, and it's going to be gold for this woman. Chen Junfei of China has put together a personal best of 4:77. That was in the second round. As the celebrating Taylor Doyle walks past her. Chen Junfei. All the pressure off, and she just runs through the pit. Really didn't hit the board. And it might matter on another day, but not today, because she's got the gold in the pocket. Yes, lost the rhythm on the run-up. Was nowhere near the board. That happens from time to time. And it's all fine, though, for Chen Junfei, who's had great success on the track. He's a gold medalist in London, in fact. And the 4:77 that she jumped in the second round is going to see her through to claim the gold medal. So it's going to be gold to China, silver to Australia, and bronze to Poland. Women's long jump, T38. Disappointed with the last jump, but no doubt delighted to have won the event. Here is the result then in the T38 long jump. Chen Junfei, 4:77. Not far behind her was Taylor Doyle with a 4:62, and 4:53 for Trina Wesiak. Gold, silver and bronze, China, Australia, Poland. Australians through to the last 8, in fact. Erin Cleaver finishing 5th with a 4:51 best jump. Still a bit more racing to get through in this evening session on what's been a most beautiful Sunday in Rio. Crowds have come out in significant numbers again.
So the final action of the night, the men's 200 meters T44. And again, it's a leg amputee category. And this is the category where we had the original Blade Runners. Alan Oliveira's the Paralympic champion in this. The Paralympic record holder, Oscar Pistorius from London 2012. And also in the T44 is the world record holder, Richard Brown. He's retired, well, for the moment anyway. So going in this, David Prince for the United States. A.J. Digby, his compatriot. Good field overall in this and Heat 2. Here's A.J. Digby, fifth in the 400 meters in the World Championships in Doha. So long jumper. Still 18 years old, turns 19 at the end of this month. Felix Streng, bronze in the 100 meters here, gold in the 4x1 of the World Championships. And the former European champion from Swansea 2 years ago. It was silver in the 2 plus the 1 in the long jump at the Europeans in Grosseto. Arnaud Fourie, gold in the 4x1 at London 2012, gold in the 4x1 in the World Championships in Christchurch. Lane 5 for Sri Lanka. Hetirichi, first major champion. David Berra of Germany, gold in the 4x1 of the Europeans. Jose Luis Casas of Peru, his first major championship. David Prince of the United States, silver in the 2, bronze in the 4 in the World Championships in Lyon in 2013, and silver in the 2 behind Alan Oliveira in Toronto last summer. So it's the top 3 to go through to the final, plus the next 2 fastest across the board. Ajit Prasrana Kumar Hetirichi of that great relay team is in lane 5. Prince, Casas, Berra, Hetirichi, Fourie, Streng and Digby. Away we go. Very solid start really out of lane 6 by Arnaud Fourie of South Africa, and Felix Streng running strong for Germany. Also coming up well for the United States is David Prince. Berra going great guns for Germany now, and Digby emerging too alongside Prince. It's 21.63. Good running by David Berra. Digby and Prince, second and third for the United States. They go through also. And Berra, capable, comfortable. European record as well, 21.63. National record as well. Digby in second place, Prince in third, with a Paralympic record in his category of 22.42 in that T44.
Well, Berra came around the bend in about third gear and then hit fifth. He's in lane 4. Got some good company from David Prince in the inside lane. But once Berra hit the straight, it was all about finding that top gear and staying there, which he did. Prince on the inside now getting run down by Digby from the United States. So he's United States second and third behind David Berra. They do their best work once they're in a straight line in this category. And look at him go, David Berra. And again, the arms pumping really hard. And then he switches off.
That's very good work by David Berra. Another representative of the very strong, very successful Bayer Leverkusen club up in the Ruhr Valley in northwest Germany. And 21.64, a new European record.
You know, as the technology gets better and better with these prosthetics and blades, I'm starting to wonder about whether they might go quicker than some Olympians. That day might come.
Digby and Prince going through along with Berra second and third, and Prince breaks the T44 Paralympic record of Arnaud Fourie, who was in fifth himself, and Prince was third.
Controversial little area, that one, isn't it? Well, we might leave that alone. But
well,
the blades are something to watch. I just love them, seeing them, you know, taking such power out of the track.
Well, in the long jump, Marcus Rame in this category in winning his World Championship in Doha, went further than Greg Rutherford did to win the IAAF World Championship in Beijing, and also Rutherford's mark in winning the Olympic title in London 2012. And Raymond's obviously tried to get onto that circuit as well, IAAF World Championships and Olympic Games, about which there's been much said and printed. And it'll be the case in the future as well.
Yes, the waters have been tested there, and your toe gets burnt if you dip it in.
There's Vasco da Gama jersey, the white sash. They're now in the second flight of Brazilian football. They play their football in the stadium alongside the Maracanã, the St. Christopher Stadium, the St. Christopher. One more race on the track tonight. It's the men's 200 metres T44 second heat. It features the silver medalist from the 100 metres. It also features the reigning Paralympic champion and also the reigning European champion. Here's Michael Saitis of Greece, bronze in the 200 metres in the European Championships. Here's the European champion from Gracetta, Johannes Flores of Germany. Emanuele Di Marino, 7th in the 400 in Doha. Hunter Woodall of the USA, silver in the 4, bronze in the 2 in the World Championships. Here is the Paralympic champion from London 2012. When he was 20 years old, Alan Oliveira, Brazil. World champion over the 1, the 2 and the 4 in Lyon in 2013. And the Pan Am champion now over 200 metres. Liam Malone, silver in the 100, apparently gave some great interviews after that success behind Johnny Peacock in the 100 metres final. Peacock's speciality is the 100. Liam Malone, let's see how you do in the 2 here. For New Zealand, from Auckland. Strong category, good field. Oliveira with a lot of focus on him in London when he dethroned Oscar Pistorius. He's the champion here and the man that Malone wants to dethrone. And the rest aiming for the same. Knocked out in the semi-finals of the 100. It's Malone in 3, Alan Oliveira 4, Woodall 5, Di Marino 6, Flores in 7, Saitis in 8. The top 3 go through. Oh, brilliant start by Woodall. Oliveira left behind a little bit, and Liam Malone is flying as well. For New Zealand out of 3. Woodall's going brilliantly. Woodall as they hit the straight. Woodall for the USA. Malone for New Zealand. And Malone's going to take this for New Zealand. A little chat between the 2. And 21.34 very fast. Liam Malone wins it. Second place, Hunter Woodall. Looked to be Flores in 3rd for Germany. And Alan Oliveira in precarious position, might not have reached the final. It's an Oceania record for Liam Malone. 21.33.
Liam Malone was doing something down the home straight that you're told you shouldn't do in junior athletics. Looking around, see where your rivals are, but he knew where he was, and he knew where Woodall was. And there's a bit of gamesmanship perhaps going on, or perhaps they're just doing as Sir Philip Craven asked them to do, and that's enjoy yourself. He got away to a great start, Liam Malone, on the inside, quickly up beside Oliveira. And then it was a question of how he and Woodall would sort it out down the straight. So as we watch Malone, there's one look. Wait, there's another one coming. There's another. And he looks back, and Woodall looks left and right. And it's all fine, and it's all fun, and it's all over.
Hey, if Bolt and DeGrassi can do it, these two can as well. That may be what they were looking to emulate. Both through, no problems there. Flores through as well. Alan Oliveira was 5th in 22.63, and I don't think he's made the final. That's just from a rough calculation. That'll be confirmed officially shortly. But it's Woodall who was leading, then Malone hitting the front, and it was vaudeville from there all the way. Little glance, little word, and Woodall looking over his shoulder then as well. He's
got
great.
you now, and that trackside moving camera is really revealing. Malone's just having a fine old time here at the engine out.
He's a confident boyo. He's a showman. And that's what the crowd and the majority of us absolutely love. It's showtime in Rio. And Liam Malone.
You know, sometimes the posturing gets a bit much, but when it's done in fun like that, I don't have a problem with it. But sometimes the self-aggrandizement of athletes can get up the noses of the purists and the traditionalists. And then when it's just a first round like that, or a heat, and you know that it's all in good fun.
It's all good-natured. We have a few Rolligans here from Denmark.
That's the Kiwis there. Come out to support Malone.
It's been a cracking night here. The track action is done for now. Still a couple of victory ceremonies due.
Yes, you've got the women's shot put to take care of. The one so convincingly taken by Lorita Onye. Who carved up her world record and served it to everyone else as the cold revenge. 8:40 she's thrown, and the old record was 7:72. So that's coming. She might put on a bit of a show for us, the Nigerian actor come athlete, or athlete come actor. She does a fair bit of both.
Another brilliant, colourful night here. Those cups, by the way, you can see that are piled up. You collect them here. They've got all the little pictograms of the various sports. There's 28 to collect.
Weather's been playing its part through the first few days of competition at the engine now. A little one top of the screen there. Ought to be in bed shortly. Too young for school, so maybe it doesn't matter.
Another very enjoyable night's action. 4 days done in the athletics, so we still have a full week of track action to come. Now, Alan Oliveira has been disqualified, I can tell you very briefly, so he will not reach the final of the 200 metres.
So you can buy Tom with green here, but not bronze, silver or gold.
I sincerely hope we don't see any of those showing up on any online auction site anytime soon. Medal ceremony coming for the men's 200 metres. T42. Good race this. Richard Whitehead taking the victory. Slowed up slightly on the line yesterday, and he was only 400ths outside of his world record. And just his immediate reaction in crossing the line tonight just made me think that he was hoping to break the world record here. But it's gold medals that are the main currency in this arena. Although, of course, we've seen lots of world records here and Paralympic records. David Henson with the bronze medal. His first Paralympic Games, his second global championships. He'd finished 7th in the 200 meters at the Worlds in Doha, silver in the 200. In Grosseto, it was the European Championships, and now he has a Paralympic bronze. Great result for Henson. A new African record for Ntando Malungu of South Africa with the silver medal. Improved that by full 0.20, 2/10 from the semi-final of 23.97. He's 14. He was born in 2002. Retaining his famous title from London 2012. The world record holder, Richard Whitehead, breaking his Paralympic record in the semi-final and retaining the gold in Rio. A great feeling. 40 years old now, but there is a World Championships coming up in London next year. And I think that'll be a big focus for many, and that's a great invention. And suffice to say, Richard Whitehead has heard this before and is on it. A great double for Great Britain. Whitehead and Henson. Gold and bronze for Great Britain. And Ntando Malungu, the silver for South Africa. Malungu, 14 years old, which is right on the limit that's allowed in this international competition. We won't do any arithmetic about the ages of the top two. Now, the result of this second round heat, Alan Oliveira has been reinstated. He was originally disqualified, but he misses out in the final anyway. He finished in 5th place. Saitis qualifies for Greece as well, and that great entertainment at the front between Woodall and Liam Malone. So Alan Oliveira also misses out on the 200 final, having done so in the 100. Malone, Woodall and Berra the fastest, and that Paralympic record in T44 for Prince as well. So another great night for Great Britain. And day 5 promising much as well.
Women's long jump, T38. Let's have a look at this to explain to you how it's all panned out. Anatrina Wasiak of Poland. '25-year-old from Krakow. It will turn out that her first jump was her best, a 4.53. And that would stand up nicely through the competition. Early leader. And she would go through and finish in 3rd position. Taylor Doyle from Sydney, Australia. Gets the crowd behind her. And she would jump a very handy 4.62 with her second attempt. Correction, third. And that put her into silver medal position. And Chen Junfei, 4.68 with her first. Found another 5 centimeters to push it out to 4.77. And 4.77 got her the gold in the women's long jump T38. She was fourth in the 100 meters, but first in the long jump. So Chen Junfei, and surprisingly missing out on the second half of the competition and finishing ninth, was Inna Szczerzak of Ukraine. Gold then to Chen Junfei of China, silver to Australia's Taylor Doyle, the bronze to Poland's Anna Trina Wasiak. Then Adomatieni of Lithuania and Cleaver of Australia. You see there Szczerzak in ninth. Had a best of almost 5 meters and could not get anywhere near it. Coming up for the medal presentation now of the women's shot put F40. This was a fun competition, I have to say. Not just because of the distances thrown, but because of the joy expressed by the competitors as they knocked over personal bests and showed how much they were loving the competition and the camaraderie out there. The favourite won it, Lorita Onye of Nigeria, from Rima Abdelli of Tunisia and Laura Baas of the Netherlands. So Lara Baas, second in Doha with 6.80. And here she's thrown 7.12 for a big personal best by 32 centimeters. And she did it late to jump into the bronze medal position. And the bronze goes pretty well with the Dutch colours. Rima Abdelli from Sfax in Tunisia did have a best of 7.05, and she got that out of her resume because she's now got 7.37, a massive PB from her as well. And seriously pleased with her performance and what it brings. The silver medal and the silver head Tom Mascot. Lorita Onye broke her own world record with her first attempt. and broke it several more times, and the best was 8:40. No one's ever thrown over 8 meters before in recognized competition in this category. Still full of energy and excitement. Nigeria now with 4 gold medals, their first at the track and field, secured by Lorita Onye from Tunisia's Rima Abdelli and Lara Baas of the Netherlands. Women's shot put, F40. Some of the Danish supporters here. So one more medal presentation to come. Women's club throw, F51. Another great result for Great Britain. Joanna Butterfield, world record holder, lived up to her favoritism. And she too has managed a world record. The old mark was 22.75, and she's managed to better that by another 6 centimeters. And joined on the podium by Zoya Ovsi of Ukraine and Cassie Mitchell of the United States. If you're interested, the club they throw weighs about 397 grams or 14 ounces, and imperial measurement, if that helps you, just under a pound. Cassie Mitchell, 35-year-old from Atlanta, Georgia, a city that hosted the '96 games. So a good shot putter, and a 3rd place in the Parapan Games with the club in Toronto last year. Zoya Ovsi, 22 years of age, a former canoeist actually, and a best throw of 22.21. Really still developing in the sport, and she's rapidly improving her distances and will be a threat quite soon, I imagine, to Joanna Butterfield. Still 0.6 of a metre behind the British thrower. The 37-year-old lives in Glasgow and in fact carried the baton for the Commonwealth Games in the Queen's Relay through the streets of Glasgow. Won the club throw in Doha last year with a 21.44 and has thrown a world record here, 22.81. How about that? Joanna Butterfield, the gold medal. She's also played a bit of wheelchair rugby for the Caledonian Crushers in Glasgow. That's gold today in the club throw. Ovsi of Ukraine and Cassie Mitchell of the United States. Here's how the women's club throw would pan out. F51. Long competition. It started at the beginning of the session. Takes a while to get through it. And it's done from the seated position. Cassie Mitchell of the United States had a second throw of 1978. The best would turn out to be 22.21. That one 21.84. Offsey, in fact, it was, who threw 22.21. 21.84 for Mitchell is correct. Offsey from Ukraine. Ending up with the silver medal. Getting the grip on the club just as she wants it. Obviously a very consistent competition. Didn't throw worse than 21.50. And ended up with a best of just over 22 metres. Club's about 35 centimetres long. So 22.21 in her final attempt. And the world record holder coming into the event, Joanna Butterfield, Great Britain. Really gave this one a good heave out past the world record that she new new world record by 6 centimetres. And she'd hold on and win it with that distance by 60 centimetres, in fact, from Zoya Ofsi of Ukraine and the United States. Cassie Mitchell and Grimes of Great Britain, Morrison, USA, Weller of Jamaica, and Cole of the United States. It was fast and furious action in the women's shot put F40 in terms of records tumbling and personal bests being set. Lara Bars was sitting in 6th position with 1 throw left. And she did produce something special. Hadn't thrown past 680 previously. That was at the World Championships last year. Needed a huge personal best to get into the medals, and that's exactly what she managed. With a 7:12. A backward glides towards the front of the circle and turns and delivers the best effort of her life. And you think she wasn't excited? 7:12 and Lara Bars into the medals for the Netherlands. Rima Abdelli from Tunisia. 3rd at the World Championships last year, where she managed 6:75. The personal best had been 7:05. But she too was able to change the look of her CV with a 7:37. Checks the front of the circle and wheels away from it. Pretty satisfied with how this left the hand. And it would get her the silver medal. And a new PB. 7:37. She did it twice. In fact, round 2 and 3. Lorita Onye, world champion from Doha, where she was also 6th in the discus. 7:72 her world record was. And she set about fixing that. Broke it with the first attempt. Hadn't thrown over 8 metres until this competition. But she did it twice here to set a new world record of 8 metres 40. An astounding improvement, really. It was 7:72, now 8:40. And then the celebration started. Lorita Onye of Nigeria, from Tunisia's Rima Abdelli, and for the Netherlands, Lara Bars. Gold, silver and bronze, women's shot put F40. Well, the word is well and truly out. The Engine Hour is the place to come. Watch the world records tumble. Watch the athletes at their very best and enjoying what they're doing. They're coming in their tens of thousands. Still plenty of it to enjoy. We hope you get the chance to do that with us. If you happen to be around South America, get here in a hurry. It's fantastic. Look forward to your company again soon.